What is what is going on? Oh, I have it pulled up on my. Oh my gosh, man! Rough start, man. Happy Friday, you guys. Let me just make sure my sound's working now. Check, check. All right, we're good. What I was saying is that April Fools is my least favorite day ever. It's just so old. Like, every year it's just, dumb jokes, no originality. And now we have everyone just saying the same joke that Pulse Chain is launching. So if you're thinking about doing that, maybe don't. You see what had happened. Hope you guys are doing well, man. Almost the weekend. So today I just wanted to give you guys kind of a live demo of Maximus, currently running a mint phase on Pulse Chain Testnet V2B, which is really exciting. Really exciting because it's cool to be able to play with PulseX with your minted Maxi. Such a amazing product that Richard Hart has built. Really cool dashboard that I'll share maybe towards the end of. Um, we'll take a look at it, but it's live, man. The market's live on PulseX testnet. Let me go ahead and share this screen. Boom. All right, guys. Let's see. Let me just make sure it's up. Yep. Maybe there. What's better? I like that one. Okay, cool, guys. Yeah, so this is the website, maximus.cash. You guys go check it out. So when you're here, you can check out on the left the menu. You can check out our white paper. Our code is on GitHub. So if you want to look through that, it's available. Join our Telegram, follow our Twitter. Boom. Before we demo, let's just kind of walk through the landing page. So we've got how it works. So 100% of the Maxi supply is generated during a one-time mint phase, likely 30 days. So we're actually in talks to actually change that. So I need to update the site. But rather than 30 days, we're thinking of maybe doing 15 days, just because, unlike other launches, we don't have a bonding curve. You can mint one Maxi per one hex. And we think that 2 weeks is probably ample time for anyone who's going to mint Maxi. So we'll probably change that. So where anyone may choose to mint one Maxi per one hex pledged to the Maximus contract. Once the minting phase ends, the smart contract will execute a MaxLink stake with all hex used to mint Maxi. Once this stake has ended, users may redeem their portion of the hex stake principal and interest. Another thing we need to update with how it works is, since writing this, we have integrated with Hedron. So during the life of the stake, we integrated a mint function within our contract so that anyone can run that, which will mint Hedron and put it in the Maximus treasury. So upon the redemption phase, you can redeem both your portion of the hex and the Maxi, and the Hedron, which is really exciting. And with that update, making it so that it can be run anytime during the life cycle of the stake, we plan on, or hopefully we'll be able to maybe take advantage of the AMR bonus throughout that. So little graphic to explain how that works. Again, we need to update this with the Hedron minting, benefits of Maximus. So instant liquidity, maximum yield, gas fee savings, and market utility. I'll let you guys read through that. I won't read through all of that. We've got our tokenomics. So during the mint phase, one Maxi will be worth one hex. So we're talking about like the redemption value, right? So during that mint phase, one Maxi will be worth one hex. But during that mint phase, people will, with minting, you're instantly getting your Maxi. So someone could create a liquidity pool on PulseX, on Uniswap, and set a value, a market value, right? So if you're thinking about doing that, I would just be very smart. The price should be set around one Maxi to one hex, because if you set MAXI to a higher value per hex, then huge arbitrage opportunity for someone to just come in, sell their MAXI and get more hex and then just like mint that again, right? So just be really smart there if you are thinking about making a pool. And then, so once the stake ends, the redemption value will be your principal plus the interest that the stake has earned, along with the hedron that was minted as well. So, so the Maximus premium discount cycle. So this is just to show what the market value and then the treasury value or the redemption value, what that relationship could look like. We think it will probably trend around that treasury. The market value will likely trend around that treasury value. And there will be some times where the market value might be above that. So it would be a premium. And then there's times where it would dip below and that would be a discount. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Maximus. Let's hop into the actual dApp. So you get here, first step is connecting your MetaMask wallet. Now, actually, I just realized that I don't think I have Pulse in this wallet. I mean, I don't have Hex in this wallet. So this is a good, we'll go ahead and connect it. If you don't have, header not found. Let's see. Let's try this. Best thing to try is the reload. Again, we are on testnet. So this is why we test. All these problems will be fixed by mainnet launch, but let me just make sure I'm on. Yeah, I'm on mainnet. There we go. Boom. And we're connected. So you can see your wallet up here. So you see that we have 5 minting phase days remaining. And then once that mint phase ends, the stake will be able to be started. So I need hex, right? So right here is little link, need hex. And a little pop-up comes up. So I already have T-Pulse, but if you need that, here's the link to the faucet. And step 2 would be to swap T-Pulse for hex. So let's go ahead and do that. Maybe I'll do 4,000 for hex. Oof, that's a rough rate. Hex has been so expensive, but there's something very exciting about that I'll show you guys when we get to the dashboard. So let's go ahead and swap. Confirm. Let's see if that transaction went through. And I'll go ahead and close out this as well. So once that hits my wallet, my hex balance, which is shown here, should update. Let's see. Still pending. Come on, Pulse chain. And sorry, guys, I only have my my window open. I'm not able to see comments. Actually, I could pull it up on my phone. Let's see. Let's see. Why is that transaction not going through? Okay, perfect. Went through. Should update. There we go. So now I have 7 hex in my wallet, and so it displays there. So you can either input an amount, or you can just go ahead and hit max. It's totally up to you. Whatever you choose to pledge is completely up to you. So the first step, once you input an amount, is you need to give the Maximus contract approval for that exact amount to be able to interact with your wallet. So we're going to hit that approve. Very small gas fee. It's awesome. So we'll confirm that. Approving. So it's just waiting for that transaction to go through. Boom. So now it shows that I'm approved for 7 hex to mint. And I'll go ahead and hit the mint MAXI button. It says pledging that amount. So I'm just confirming in my MetaMask wallet. I've already got quite a lot, so this should show 42467. Boom. So now that MAXI is in my wallet. And we can head over to the dashboard. And so you can see, so with this dashboard, this is completely just a test dashboard. The main net dashboard will be much better, showing a lot more information. And the goal being, we want to be able to try and present the treasury value as best as possible. And so I created a calculator just in Google Sheets, just to try to start, looking at those calculations. And we can actually go over that after this. But yeah, you can see your total MAXI in your wallet, and that shows that I own 1% of the stake pool. So you can think of that percentage. So when the stake actually ends, you'll be able to redeem 1.07% of the hex stake plus interest, and that percent of the hedron supply as well. And what's cool about that is that everyone gets what they put in. So it's basically it's basically as if you were staking on your own with just added benefits. You have a liquid token that you can trade, and anyone that holds MAXI at the redemption phase is able to redeem the hex and hedron. So there's been some questions around that, but I just want to make that clear. You don't have to, like, people that miss out on the mint phase and buy MAXI down the road will still be able to redeem from the pool at redemption. So that's cool. And what I was saying earlier, it was kind of cool about like the price of hex right now on Pulse Chain Testnet is that this is a lot of hex in terms of like what's available. So, you could look at this as kind of a signal that there are some big hex players playing around with Maximus right now, which is pretty exciting. And then we just have the dates right here, or the days when everything's starting and ending. Again, this will be more dynamic on mainnet launch. I want to do like a progress bar. I think that would be a cool touch. Let me see something. Pulling up the live chat because I can't see it on my computer. Awesome. Yeah. So guys, really simple demo. So the redeemability. So you can actually redeem your MAXI, or you can get your hex back during the mint phase if you get cold feet. Up until the point that the stake is started, you can use this feature of redeem. Obviously, once the stake starts, there's no more hex in the Maximus treasury. It's all staked, so you wouldn't be able to do that. You would have to wait till the redemption phase, and also you're redeeming at the 1-to-1 mint rate, right? So there's no like added benefit for putting it in and taking it out during the mint phase, but you can if you wanted to, right? So just wanted to make that known. So if I did want to redeem some, let's say I wanted to redeem 1,000 hex from the contract, just kind of want to prove that this works. So that contract is going through, or I approved it first, I believe. Let's see. Let's see what happens when this contract goes through. Oh, boom. Perfect. So yeah, I just redeemed my hex. So yeah, when the stake ends, you'll be able to use this feature. And what's cool about like Maximus, we talk about it a lot, but it's just very, very simple. I mean, the contract itself has about 5 features, right? We have the mint feature, the start stake, the mint hedron, the end stake, and then the redemption. So I guess six functions that this contract can do. So very, very small contract risk. And on top of that, we are getting an audit. Hopefully, what's today's date? So today's April 1st. We're supposed to get that back by the 6th, which would be awesome. And so once that gets back to us and we get the green light, everyone's asking when launch date. We'll have a better understanding of when we can launch after we get that audit back, obviously. So if we get that green light, we will definitely announce a launch date very soon after that. So very exciting. And while I have you guys here, I guess we could go ahead and jump into the calculator and just play around with that. So I can drop a link to this. Or actually, I'll drop a link to Maximus first. So if you guys want to play around with the test phase going on, hop in, and then I'll share this calculator as well that I built on just a Google Sheet. So if you want to use this, all you'll need to do is create a copy. Yeah, just copy the file, and then you can edit the variables. So I'll make another copy real quick. Boom. Share that screen. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So let's see if it's up. It is up. Let's see. I should move myself like that for this one. So yeah, guys, here is the Maximus Treasury Forecast Calculator. We actually went over this on a stream yesterday or the day before, and Brian gave some really in-depth discussion on what everything means and how to think about it. So if you guys want to check that out, definitely do. I just wanted to kind of show you guys how to use it, and just kind of spark your guys' excitement a little bit, because it's pretty, if you play around with this a little bit, it's pretty cool. So when you copy it, the default view right now is maxing out. So hex pledged at 1-to-1 MAXI minting rate. So I put in, the max of the bigger pays better bonus. So 150 million hex. The other variables you can change are the hex price at in stake, the hedron price at in stake, the share rate, and the average T-share payout. So the thing I think, is most fun to play around with. Well, first, let me show you guys something that's really interesting. So when people think about Maximus and that we are pooling for a max length stake, the first thing they think about is maxing out the bigger pays better bonus, right? Which is up to 10% for 150 million hex. And something I reiterate a lot is that goal for us is definitely there. And obviously 10% is awesome, but really it kind of pales in comparison, one, to the 200% longer pays better bonus, which is guaranteed, because we're doing a max length stake. And two, kind of the gas fee savings, and just, to me, the overall just utility of having a liquid token are kind of bigger. And so I'll show you guys something really interesting. So right now it's at 150 million. Let's say we do, okay, so at 150 million, 589, I'm looking down at the U part. So 589% gain, right? Let's drop it down to 150,000. Only dropped about 10% of your gain, right? Let's look at that. So your redemption value, 17,671, 17,200. Kind of interesting, right? Like, not a huge difference. And so, again, not to say that maxing that out isn't a great goal, but it's just not the primary success. Is this a success or failure based off of if we hit that number, right? Like, everyone will benefit a lot just by participating, regardless of that size. So I just thought that was interesting. Maybe let's scale that. Let's scale how much you put in. So let's say you put in like 30,000 or 300,000. Let's see that. Okay, so let's say you put in 300,000 whales out there. Okay, so 150 million. So 1,767,195. Let's see what it changes to at 150,000. So obviously, pretty. It's more significant the bigger the amount you invest, obviously, because it's based off of like percent gain. But overall, like not terrible. Like it's well, I guess also I don't. That wouldn't really make a lot of sense. It might 150. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, but I just wanted to show you guys that. I think it's interesting and just something to keep in mind when you're thinking about benefits of Maximus. And I just don't want someone to think like, oh, we didn't hit that number, we failed. That's we're in it for the gains, and not a huge drop off, right? Okay, so sorry, I was just checking the chat real quick. So I did show redemption day will be insane. I agree. It's going to be really crazy. But it also might not be, right? So, I'm sure a lot of people will pull their Maxi, right? Or burn their Maxi to redeem their Hex and Hedron. But some people might. And actually, there might be a lot of people that like, just leave their Maxi in. That's a real possibility. Someone was actually talking about like just holding Maxi, I don't know, like tax implications. Actually, I'm not going to get into that. I don't want to like get in trouble for like trying to give like tax advice. I'm not I'm not an accountant, but Dip Catcher said add gas calculator to the calculator. That's a good idea. So this is V1. Very open to feedback from what you guys want to see on the next one. But gas fee savings is huge, right, guys? So we've talked about it before, but consolidating stakes saves so much money for the Hexkins. I like the example of like if 300 people, if let's say ETH to end a max link stake is like 1 ETH, or gas to end a max link stake is 1 ETH. 300 people do that. That's 300 ETH. If we consolidate, that's one payment, right? So, yeah, I'm thinking about how we could add that to the calculator. Maybe just, like gas fee at end stake and amount of people that staked Maximus. I think that's probably the best way to do it. Easy and simple. Yeah, it's pretty easy calculation we could do there. So I'll definitely add that. Another thing I was adding, I was like, I had on it and then I deleted it and then I kept working and I lost it. But basically just holding, like if you just held liquid hex versus minting Maxi, and it was pretty drastic, the difference. So yeah, pretty awesome calculator. Let's play around with some numbers. So again, the default was 150 million. Oops. So the default prices, a lot of people saw this and were like, you think the price is going to be 15 cents in 15 years? And I don't, obviously, it's likely. And I asked this question yesterday, like what people thought the price is going to be. And there was some very outlandish. I don't think anyone said under $100, which is, I don't know if that's crazy or what. I mean, $100 is probably, but people were saying like 1,000, which I don't know about that, but could happen. Very well could happen. But let's play around with it. So let's say, okay, actually, I think I feel like most people are probably investing average 3K, maybe. I don't know. That's that's a good investment for a lot of people. So hex price at purchase. What is hex price right now? Let's see. So this bottom part is assuming that you're buying. Why the fuck? Assuming that you are buying hex right now to mint Maxi. So it's 15.3. All right. So baseline, current price of hex, current price of Hedron, I think it's around, I don't know what Hedron is. I think it's around there. So if you just invested 3K, 15 cents, you get 19,000 total maxi, and your redemption value will be $17,325. Pretty awesome return by itself, right? So this part here is the total treasury value, and then this breaks it down. So redemption value per maxi, 88 cents. And then we did add this little feature down here. So maxi mint price. So the hex price at mint, 15 cents. So this markup is the difference between these two. So yeah, pretty awesome. Let's say it's $1. Hex is $1, 115,000. And let's say, oh, I should warn, I didn't prelude this whole conversation. This is not a promise of future gains. This is purely for educational and entertainment purposes. Okay, just want to make that clear. So let's say, let's go there. Like Hedron getting to 1 cent would be insane. Watch this. Boom, another 100K. So what's cool about Maximus is that we get to cheer on two other products, right? Like a lot of crypto and crypto Twitter is just like so much fighting between like what's better, or like you can't support any other thing. And I don't know, Maximus kind of bridges communities, right? Like we're here to support both, because at the end of the day, it's pumping our bags, right? So I have average T-share payout at 6. Let's see what it does at 7. Boom. Let's say Hex gets to $10. Let's say Hedron gets to 10 cents. At Hedron. Oh. Let's say Hedron gets to $1. And let's say, I mean, look at this maxi redemption value. That's just crazy. But like what I love about this calculator, or just this product in general, like Maximus, like this exponential value, redemption value from, you know, even just the hex price, right? Like $10, $879 of redemption value per token. Kind of crazy, right? And obviously these, you know, these numbers are kind of crazy, obviously, but fun to play around with, right? Like it's, yeah, I think it's okay to be hopeful, right? Like just like unequivocally, like, let's see if it got to $100. Let's say you invested 5K. Woo. I mean, a lot of people were saying Hex could be $100. And I don't know, maybe somebody would know. I've always been curious, like how you would calculate the Hedron price as it relates to the Hex price. I know people have been discussing that and saying that there's a relationship there. I don't know how you would actually calculate that though. Maybe if someone does know, drop it in the comments how you might be able to calculate that better. And I think over time, obviously, we'll be able to see that relationship better. It's just so crazy with how much Hedron can really be minted. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone knows. Let's see. What's up, Naeem? Naeem says Maximus Daily Stats site would be cool. Definitely. So that's what we are building the dashboard to be. So you'll be able to see mainly again, showing that treasury value and trying to best. But like honestly, this calculator that I built, really like I was trying to wrap my head around how to like value it best. Um, and Brian helped a lot with these calculations, but it gives a lot more clarity for how to better value Maxi you know at the current day. So let's see, hex price at $1. Oops, 1,000. Yeah, he's drawn to a cent, man. That's all we need. That's crazy. Almost a 10,000% gain. And who knows, right? Like, who knows? We talk about that premium and discount cycle, right? From the treasury redemption value and the market value. It, like, it will likely probably always, I don't know. It really depends on how you value it. But, if you hold to $14 per Maxi, it's just going to be really, really interesting market with what people, because right, like everyone's making a choice. They're like we're going to give everyone the best tools to try to make decisions on that treasury, that redemption value. Some things are obviously a lot more clear than others. Like what's awesome about Hedron is that we have a guaranteed amount. Once we start that stake, we'll know. I mean, actually, we know it now. Well, it depends on the amount of B shares we get, right? But once we start that stake, we'll know like a baseline for how much Hedron we can mint. If we do lock in like an AMR bonus with minting, then obviously it could be more. But that's kind of like a known variable of this whole equation. Things we don't know are really the things in blue, like the prices, the share rate, and the T-share payout. So, those are things that you kind of have to decide on your own. And that's what I love about this calculator. If you're playing with it, is you can input what you think will happen, right? And make decisions off that. So I'm excited. Let's go to last thing I want to do is go to PulseX and check out the dashboard. I always forget how to. Wait, why did I get there? I'm gonna go tokens. MAXI on my watch list. So this dash, let me just make sure this is up actually first. Perfect. Okay, so before I do that, what's up, this guy? Dipcatcher says, it's impossible to predict exact value, but you can use this tool to predict a range of values, which you can be massively helpful. Talking about the calculator. Yeah, I agree. And then Dipcatcher said there's actually a minimum guaranteed hex earning. Really? What would that be? That would be good to know, actually. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, let's look at this. So when I saw this, I like almost fainted. Like this dashboard is so cool. So we've got liquidity over here, 1.8 million in liquidity pool. That's awesome. 24, the volume. So we've got 4 pools set up. I set up the Hex Maxi pool. Well, we've got a Hedron Maxi, PulseX Maxi, Pulse Maxi. So really cool. Really cool to see people using it. We've got 110 transactions. That's awesome. Like really awesome. Let's see how do you look at the price? Pools. No. Are we on here? Oops. Let me go back. What? That's my cat. That's Winston. Oh, liquidity and price. Look at that. We got some pumps. I mean, how cool is it we have a price chart just right in PulseX? That's so cool. Okay, let's see. Crypto Sloth, what's up, man? Oh, wait, let's see. Dipcatcher also said it would be if every liquid hex immediately staked max link stake and each ending stake then staked 555. Okay. Well, let's talk about that more later. Crypto Sloth, good to see you too, man. What up, Blue? My girlfriend's head to the gym. Yeah, back to PulseX. Yeah, how freaking cool is this dashboard? This is awesome. Got all transactions, swaps, adds, removes. Yeah, one thing, and maybe Brian, we can talk about this next time on stream. So, Mr. E brought up in Telegram, he was looking at the transaction, and he was swapping MAXI for Hex or Hex for MAXI, and the auto router took it through Pulse, and we were trying to figure out why that would be. Unfortunately, there's not docs. Like this docs link has not worked since they've launched on Pulse Chain. I wish they had that because I'd really like to kind of understand how that auto routing works. But I would assume it balances out like what Mr. E pointed out. Initially, we were thinking that it might be like the size of the liquidity pool, but it's probably more so rate. So that's interesting. I think it like would balance out those pools in a way, but I'm also curious like how that works with fees, right? Like if you're auto routing, is that splitting the fees between both pools? If it goes through that MAXI Pulse pool, does that give fees to that pool as well? Kind of some unknowns there. But another thing that just launched is the DAO. Let me find that link. Who had that? Walrus had it. Shout out Walrus. So I will put this in. So this is awesome. The DAO is live on PulseX. I don't know why they don't have the link to it on the site, but I can drop that link in the comments as well for you guys to check it out. So this right now, as I've been playing around with it, making a proposal. So currently it looks like proposals are for the farms. So the farms being where you stake your LP tokens when you provide liquidity. You get the LP tokens and you stake those and you can earn the incentive token. So since it looks like I don't know. This is like, I wish there was more instructions on this. But yeah, I don't know. Initially I assumed that when I looked at the choices, I thought you would put in 2 tokens. But it seems more open-ended than that. So yeah, I'm excited about this. I know, so I've talked to Walrus about what the DAO will actually be able to control. And as of right now, I know it will control 2 things. So there's the single-sided PulseX pools. And he said that the DAO would decide which tokens can be put up as reward tokens for that. And then it will also decide what pairs will be incentivized with the farms to be able to earn incentive tokens. So with that being said, I dropped this in Telegram, but as a community, it would be really awesome if we, used our power to make the MAXI Hex an incentivized pool. I think that would be really, really awesome. I think it's going to be a power pair on PulseX, and it would be awesome to just have people earning incentive token for that. So we'll definitely dive into that after launch of Pulse Chain and PulseX, and try to find a strategy to get that going, because that'd be really cool. people have asked about the single-sided staking. It's my understanding that I don't know. I don't think Maxi would be a good fit for that. I think because each Maxi is minted and by the community, you have to put up an amount of tokens. So I feel like tokens that are kind of minted out of thin air more would be better for that. And really that's more of a like onboarding tool for new tokens. So I don't think anyone's going to want to like put up their Maxi token as a reward. I don't know. I don't think they would, but I need to know more about that for sure. Um, let's see. CD76 says, stupid question, but what is the reason any value would be assigned to incentive token? Is there a use case? I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a PRC20 token, right? So with like any other PRC token, there will be liquidity pools for that. So that value is going to be set by the market. Will be interesting, right? Like, I think a lot of people are going to be obtaining those. I think it's a good distribution model though, as far as like, people are earning them in a way by staking. So they're not like they're free and they're not. There's some work to get them. So hopefully that adds some value. But yeah, any token has utility because it can be put on the market and paired, right? So I don't think there's any other utility. I originally thought that the incentive token was going to be used for the DAO voting, um, but and that's another really big question for me is because um, when I was playing around with it, if you look, like you check your voting power, let's see if it'll load. I don't know if you're actually. I don't know. I don't think it's really reading right because I do have. Oh wait, maybe I don't have pulse X in this. Um, So what would be interesting, I don't even know if you're really spending any tokens to participate in the DAO. I think um, you might just have voting power, which is a value determined by your PulseX holding, and you can vote with that power. Um, so yeah, which is actually great. I didn't want if it was like having to spend my PulseX to vote in a DAO, I probably wouldn't do it. Um, but what it looks like right now is you don't actually have to. Let's see if there's any voting going on, actually. Let's try that. Shit. So vote now. Oh, it's loading. So we've got a start date, end date. I don't know why this isn't loading. Let's try again. Let's see. Blue said Crypto Coffee just added a video with potential future use cases that could be added. Really? That's awesome. Let's see. Crypto. Yeah, I think it'd be awesome for Brian to hop on stream with Crypto Coffee. I think that would be a really, really good conversation. I've got a oh wait. Oh, you're talking about I thought you were talking I'm stupid. I thought you were talking about him talking about Maximus. But I think it would be cool if Crypto Coffee talked to Brian about Maximus. I think they're friends, so that would be cool. I've got a interview set up, not an interview, just a conversation with Jim Rat Crypto and I think that's going to be on Tuesday at like 9:30 a.m. Let's see, Eastern time. I think it's 11:30 Eastern time, so 9:30 Pacific Standard. So, yeah, I think that's going to be Tuesday. So that'd be awesome. Let's see, Dip Catcher. Me and Crypto Coffee have a vintage stream from 2020. That's awesome. That was like, let's see, 2020 launch. So yeah, that was the good old days. Blue said to incentive token. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Crypto Sauce said, I'm so excited to LP with Maxi, especially if it is incentivized. Yeah, that would be freaking awesome, man. Because we've talked about this a lot. And with Maxi and Hex, it's very, very likely that it will be range bound. So awesome liquidity providing opportunity there. And if we get the incentive token on top of that, that would be really awesome. Espel said, Hedron price in theory should reach 1 billion share average staking length in the Hex ecosystem. Okay. That's a good calculation. Naeem, love the profile pic, man. Keep making cool art. Should add Maximus Contract is brilliant. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. We're very, very excited about this, guys. And it's been amazing to like just be a part of something that's catching a lot of momentum. There's a lot of really smart people that are hopping on Telegram and asking questions and having great conversations. And it's cool to build something that people want, right? I think, yeah, there's just a lot of opportunity for people. Really opens the door for smaller stakers, especially, and people that a certain demographic that I also think this really opens the door to is so for smaller stakers, it really opens the door for bigger pays better bonus, which is great. And it opens the door for people later in life who might not be considering a max length stake because it just might not make sense where they are in their life, right? Like if you're 65, a max length stake, you're going to be 80 when that ends, right? So people might still be doing that, but regardless of that's kind of an extreme example, but even 40s, like liquidity is a big deal to a lot of people, which I'm really excited about. Crypto Sauce said that chart with maxi value oscillating around the treasury value is a yield farmer's wet dream, almost like Hedron's fair value with the B share, but you can't LP with the B share. Yeah, it's awesome, man. And I was talking in Telegram about this the other day. I think Maxi could be a really great tool for HSI stakers and people looking to buy them for evaluating the value of those stakes, because the one hard part about like the NFT wrapped stakes and trying to value them is that you're in an NFT market, and you're trying to like make calculations on the value. Maybe you're looking at floor price, but like each stake is just very unique, with like the end date and how mature it is and when it started and if they minted Hedron. So I've asked that question before, like how people value an HSI stake. And on the other hand, with Maxi, it's like the market gives you a market value right away. And then you can decide like, is that below or above what I think my Maxis were today, right? So it's a little more clear cut, and a little more fungible in a way, because like with the liquidity pools just being there and you wanted to sell, a little more immediate than having to like list an NFT and hope someone buys it, which is cool. Naeem said almost too many options or opportunities and options. Agreed, man. The future is bright, and it's cool to see. Obviously, there's a lot of projects that aren't the highest of qualities that are planning to launch on Pulse Chain, but for the most part, like, I mean, there's some top tier projects launching, right? Like, there's Maximus, in my opinion, being one of them. Hedron, Liquid Loans, Mintra, obviously all of Richard Hart projects. Solid handful of awesome projects that, to me, like, just have such a huge first mover advantage. And I feel like we're really fortunate to be a part of that initial group, because I just don't think that a lot of major ETH products and projects are going to be supported on Pulse Chain. So, I don't know what's going to happen to all those tokens or what, but I really think the real opportunity lies with Richard Hart projects in this kind of handful of new projects that are focusing on Pulse Chain, right? Crypto Sloth said, the funny thing is the people who own all the MAXI understand the value proposition, which makes me wonder why anyone would sell for a loss. Agreed, right? Like, I mean, my goal, especially with like the dashboard and trying to provide the best information to everyone, is like, I don't want anyone selling their. Well, I just don't want. I want people to be most informed to make the best decisions on when they're going to sell, right? And again, I can't like tell you. I'm not going to give you financial advice on like what I think you should sell. And at the same time, like, I do hope people sell because I will eat that up. I'll buy that. Like, I want the best price to buy more Maxi. So it's double-edged sword, but our goal is definitely with the dashboard, with the information we're putting out, to like try and give people the best, clearest picture of like what their Maxi is really worth, for sure. You can just hold without caring about price, and now you're getting Hex and Hedron at the end of it. Oh, yeah, correct. Yeah, I mean, Maximus is really as simple or complicated as you want to make it. It's actually, if you think about it, it's actually, in my opinion, it simplifies staking for a lot of people. Like, you really just have to buy Hex, mint Maxi, redeem. Kind of pulls some steps away from like having a stake and in stake. And you get the added bonus of Hedron automatically. So it removes the mint function for people as well. Really simplifies it. And then on top of that, there's like, all the game theory around backing value, and market value, and huge arbitration opportunities there, if people want to take advantage of that. But again, it's kind of like, yeah, you make it what you want it to be, right? Mr. E, what's up, man? Welcome. Hexkins are behind the most promising projects on Pulse Chain. Agreed. There's some really, really quality projects. Another one that I don't know if they're focused on Pulse Chain, but the Hex Trust is going to be really, really huge for Hex. Like, I mean, the L2 Hex products coming out are just going to pump the price. Like, liquidity is just being bought up with Hedron. People buying Hex to stake Hedron and lock in bonuses right now. Crazy. People are going to be buying Hex on, after that. I tweeted about this, I think yesterday. Everyone staked their Hex to lock in bonuses. Now they need more Hex if they want Maxi, right? So kind of created a buy wave here, hopefully. And then with the Hex Trust coming out, financial market dollars are going to be buying liquid Hex off the market. So you really, really want to see that. I think it's just going to blow the price up. And I really recommend, not financial advice, but lock in some Hex at this value. It's a really, really good price. It is something like, you look at the price, it's like, oh, it's 10 cents yesterday, but like 15 cents is still a really, really great price to be buying. Crypto Sloth said, Mr. E, on average, Hexkins understand crypto and value more, in my opinion. it makes sense that the best stuff comes from us. Correct. And I also think that Richard Hart set a really good bar, right? Like the characteristics that are kind of demanded upon these projects cause them to be better, with admin keys and audits and, trustless, and all these things are things that were kind of instilled in people, like expectations instilled in people. And they really do push projects to be better, for sure, really changing the game. And it's cool that, like, again, there will be projects that are shitty. There'll be scams. But along with Hexagons launching great products, I also think that our discernment between good and bad is very strong as well, right? It takes a lot for people to open up to a new product. And so that's why I like, the support we're getting from some OG Hexagons has been really, really awesome. Like it really validates that we're doing this the right way, that we're building something that's good. And so that's been really exciting the past week or so. Crypto Gammy said, this may have already been asked, but will there be more than one offering stake in the future of the Pulse chain, perhaps? Yeah, so we talked about this a little bit. Not today, I don't think, but our sole focus right now is definitely this first launch. Like, we want to knock this out of the water. Our goal with this one was to keep it as simple as possible, really mitigate the smart contract risk, and also create a product that's very easy to understand. And so far, that strategy has really paid off. We've been able to move really fast, develop this contract, build a front end, and get to audit and hopefully launch very soon. So that's been awesome. As far as the future goes, if we were to launch another contract, for one, I always want to make it clear that, like, the MAXI supply will never be changed after that mint phase ends. That will be 100% of the MAXI supply, and will never affect that. If we do launch another contract, it will be under a different ticker. And we, it's awesome. This, people asking this question is actually an awesome signal to me, because people aren't just like satisfied with what we're building now. They're dreaming and thinking about the future. And that is really inspiring to me, because we definitely want to continue to kind of build upon what we're doing now, and how we're building this. We're building it modularly. So if we were to launch future contracts in the future, I think our next contract would be like the next proof of concept that we would integrate with is like the backwards compatibility of these contracts, right? So this isn't set in stone, but some type of ability for people to use their MAXI to mint the next token at maybe a discounted rate based off of the MAXI that they or like the value of their MAXI that they're using to mint. That's like one idea that we're talking about. But yeah, so we'll figure that out. That's probably our next proof of concept. We might do that a few more times, where we test one new thing and launch it. But the possibilities are really endless, and that's like a very exciting place to be. We love that people are bringing their own ideas to the table. One idea that like people have brought up a lot is like a rolling 30-day stake. And the thing I want to say about that is, like, I would assume your goal with that is like the availability of liquidity. But Maximus, like, there's downsides to that, because with each one of those stakes ending and rolling over, you have to pay gas. One, you're getting a worse T-share rate. And Maximus already solves that liquidity issue with the MAXI token. Like, if you want to sell your position, you just sell your MAXI, right? You don't need the stake to end. You can sell your MAXI for Hex if you want, right? So But yeah, again, we're really focused on this launch. We're waiting for our audit to get back. It should get back by 4/6. So get the green light there, and then we can launch. We'll announce the launch date. We won't just launch out of nowhere. Mystery said, lots of hex being bought up with Hedron earnings. Absolutely. Oh, actually, one more thing I wanted to talk about with this. One idea that I really be excited about is once we kind of prove out that modular system with like integrating these. I want to build a platform that enables people to launch their own. And one thing that I would probably like look to as inspiration is, what's their site? It's called, the website is juicebox.money. And you're able to launch your own DAO essentially. Is it they call it a DAO? Let's see. Yeah, I'll show this. I'll show this, like what this could look like. Let me just copy this. Okay, so this project is for creating your own projects, essentially. So what it allows you to do is like set up like funding for your project. So like you can set up your project name. So like with Maximus and what I dream of building, you'd be able to design your own pool, and with all these like variables to like basically create a brand for it, right? You know, if you wanted to create a Twitter or whatever, and then aside from that, you'd be able to like set up your parameters for like how long you want your mint phase to be, how long you want your stake to be. You know, doesn't have to be a max length stake. Do you want to charge fees during that mint phase as like the fundraise manager, or you know, you could even set like maybe a bonding curve. I don't know how that would work out, but yeah. So I mean, like making it very easy for people to deploy their own stake pool, right? So I think that would be awesome. That's something I really, really want to build. Started to like play around with the design, but that's a little probably further off than like launching another one. But again, yeah, we're really focused on this one. I just want to kind of share some exciting stuff that could be in the future of Maximus. Let's see. Catcher said, I wonder what Staker League will be. Oh, I wonder what Staker League we will become. I don't know, man. A whale. No, just kidding. That'd be cool. I feel like we could get to, I always forget. Let me look. What do you guys think? What Staker class could we get to? I feel like we could become a dolphin. I feel like we could become a dolphin. Or a squid. Dolphin or squid. Let's see. Naeem said, just bought a bag of Hex today, accumulating to mint as much Maxi as possible. Awesome, man. I like to hear that. Yeah, guys, load up on Hex. You're going to need it for minting Maxi. Aaron Ellis, one-sided Maxi staking possibilities. Do you mean like in the StakeX pools, or like, what do you mean by that? And it said dolphin to shark, dolphin. I like it. Dolphin's a good goal for sure. That'd be amazing. Let's check. How's the hex price doing? Interesting. What support are we at right here? Oh, it might be right here. 15 holds strong, man. Yeah, still a good time to buy. It's gonna be really interesting. Like the second Richard Hart announces Pulse Chain launch date or the fork date, like what are people gonna do? I feel like a lot of people are gonna be buying up hex, just to have on the snapshot. Like, yeah, just pool staking, not LPs anywhere. Yeah, just pooling staking, not LPs. No plans yet. I don't know if we would build that. Oh, pool staking. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so shit, actually I need to look. Sorry, I'm trying to think through. So, I mean, if you're talking about the PulseX one-sided staking, again, I don't think that Maximus might be the best token for that, just because the third party has to put up an allotment of tokens that are given away to people for staking their PulseX. So yeah, I don't think MAXI because like each MAXI has a redemption value and they can't just be printed out of thin air type of thing. So, oh, you said anywhere. I don't know. We'll see what the market develops, right? Like we'll see what products come out. We'll definitely be keeping ears to the ground on new yield opportunities, and that's really something like very, very exciting about MAXI is like, while your stake is earning the maximum yield from hex, you can also be utilizing your tokens earning more yield. So it's like yield on yield. Pretty awesome. I started writing an external gas pool contract. Oh, for earning. Okay, awesome. We'll have to talk about that for sure. Can you quickly explain about the project? I'm not here. Yeah, for sure. I know that's my girlfriend's name is Jasmine, so I didn't know if she's trolling me or not. Yeah, I can definitely explain. So Maximus is a smart contract for trustless pooling of a MaxLink stake. So essentially there'll be a one-time mint phase. I think probably more likely to be 15, 14 days now, where you can mint one maxi per one hex. So you'll need liquid hex for that. And then you instantly get your maxi token. Then all the hex that is pooled or pledged to the Maximus contract will be staked into hex for the max length stake of 555 days, 5,555 days. And once that stake ends, you can redeem your hex principal plus interest from the pool. So the benefits of that, there's two bonuses with hex. So there's a longer pays better and bigger pays better bonus. We're locking in the 200% longer pays better bonus by max length staking, and we say we're optimizing the 10%. So it's 10% up to 150 million hex. So optimizing for everyone, because you're definitely going to be getting a bigger bonus there than you would have on your own. Aside from that, you're also going to be saving on gas by pooling, and you also have a liquid token that you can use and sell, or provide liquidity or other yield earning opportunities, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, if you have any questions, yeah, Dip Catcher said you might want to rewind to start it. All valuable information that will turn you from beginner to a pro. Thanks, Dip. Aaron said, very cool. And also sounds like just hodling MAXI is a solid play too. Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes our conversations like in Telegram, they get pretty complex, but I do like to remind people often, like, it can be very, very simple. And actually, we like a big value prop is actually, it could be like a great way to kind of onboard people to hex exposure. Like your mom would probably understand just getting MAXI over like trying to understand hex and do that. Dip Catcher said, "Can I hop on stream?" Yep. Let me invite you up. Should I text it to you or Telegram or what? I can see the invite link. Aaron said, "Here's a strategy. Sell all your rewards from PulseX and liquid loans, swap to Hex, and then mint MAXI." Well, so your rewards from, okay, down the road, that actually might be, yeah, that might be a good, if we launch another contract down the road. But if we're launching before Pulse Chain, then, okay, I'll text it to you. Then you wouldn't have those rewards yet. But let's see. All right, sorry, I'm just sending this link to Bitcatcher. I hope Telly meant Telegram, not Telly like phone Telly. Let's see what's going on Twitter. Guys, our Twitter is blowing up. I mean, let's see. Wait, I gotta do something real quick. God damn it. I'll just do this. Okay. See if there's like any questions on Twitter that I can. Oh, wait, let me also check stream to see if Brian's in. Aaron said, okay, gotcha. Yeah. But I mean, that's like, if we launch another one, like, so like the next contract we launch is just like, we want to like prove a relationship between the two contracts. So like one would be like maybe some backwards compatibility for minting, like using your MAXI to mint the next token, and trying to like create some incentive there. And then another thing we've been talking about is like incentivizing liquidity providing between the two. So those are kind of where our mind is at. We don't want to like complicate the contract too much unless there's like some things that we really want to build with it. Mr. E said, Aaron, same strategy, but sell your rewards from LL and PulseX and buy more MAXI with it. Oh yeah, that's very true. Very true. Kolky, how old will you be at the Maximus in stake? Let's see. I would be, let's see. Like 45? I think it'd be 45. Yeah, I'm turning 30 this year. I don't know why that took me so long. Oh my god. I was thinking 15.2 because that's technically what a max link stake is, but let's see. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Aaron, yeah, for sure, man. Are you in our Telegram? I'm trying to think how I can send you this link without. Also, I don't know. I'm on a free plan. I don't know how many people I could have. Let me see real quick. You can have up to 6 people on screen at once. Okay. Yeah. No, for sure. If you're on our Telegram, just just say something, and then I can send it to you for sure. Naeem, I'll be 40. Dude, that's crazy, man. Congrats on learning about Maximus and Hex this young, man. That's awesome. I'm messaging Brian real quick. Great. Let me add you real quick. Awesome, guys. Yeah, I can have up to 6 people. So if anyone else wants to hop on, feel free. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab something. All right, so we're waiting for Aaron and Brian to come on up. Let's check out let's okay, let me do this. Okay, for that, Blue said, how would it work for MAXI if another project like Hedron is created that adds value to hex stakes? I guess it really depends, right? It really depends. I'm trying to think like with Hedron, you kind of actively have to do something while your stake is active. So if something like that popped up, another thing like that, then yeah, we wouldn't be able to use it on this contract, but in the future, maybe we want to integrate if we want to, like we did with the Hedron mint function. But yeah, let's see. Can other hex airdrops be added into MAXI value if they are safe to claim, or will MAXI always just be hex and Hedron value? Other hex airdrops be added. I guess it depends. I don't know. I think like if an airdrop goes to the smart contract address, right? Like, yeah, that'd be a good question. I'll actually. Oh, looks like we got Dip Catcher.
Dude. Hey, what's up?
I'm glad we got you up. Someone asked a good question. And they said, can other hex airdrops be added into MAXI value if they're safe to claim, or will MAXI always just be hex and Hedron? So that's a good question. Like, if someone sends funds to the contract, would they be able to claim it, or like?
So it is explicitly for hex and Hedron, and that's primarily a security concern, because
yeah, for sure,
if it was like people could run like open-ended smart contracts, someone could come and putz with it. So by making it strictly strictly those, then it just limits the attack surface there. So,
so we've got somebody
so
actually,
that is a risk that may be factored into the MAXI price. Like that's one reason. Like, we talk about all the forces pushing the price up, but one force that could be pushing the price down is, just like the risk of not being able to, secure in a future airdrop that may or may not happen. And so that's like, one of the only few downsides of it. You know what I mean?
Aaron, oh, there you go. We've got somebody coming up. Aaron. What's up, Aaron?
Hey, brother, can you hear me?
Yep. How's it going?
Good, man. I can't get my cam to work. Is there like a button I click?
If you go to set, there should be like a settings button at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then under camera, you can select what camera you want to use.
Okay. 1 second.
Yeah,
Just messing around with it right now.
That's so weird how you're invisible.
This is the anonymous DeFi rug puller.
This is the person that's stealing your funds.
Yeah. This is the first test tube baby.
Oh man, I can't get the cam to work. But
no worries.
Yeah. Good to see you. Good to talk to you at least.
Yeah, man. How's it going?
Good, man. I'm actually out in the Philippines right now. Just hopping around.
Sweet. So
Yeah.
you're able to kind of work remote around the world, or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that. Yeah, I don't really work too much. I kind of just live off my investments. You know what I mean?
Nice.
But
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, man. I've been catching up on all your videos.
Sweet.
Kind of getting the gist of it. It's funny. I'll say one thing about, like, at first I was watching it and I was like, I'm like, okay, as far as like how it worked. And then after watching the vids for a little bit, I'm like, oh, this is easy. You just hold it. Yeah. It's like actually not that complicated.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, totally. We talk about like those arbitration opportunities and things, but like really, like, you could just hold MAXI till the end and reap the benefits, right? Like, I mean, I'm personally probably never going to sell my MAXI. I'm definitely in like the more like accumulation mindset for sure. Like, I just want to be able to buy more over time. But yeah, it'll be really interesting. I think there might be some people that come in that are more trader types because of liquidity options and take advantage of that. But for most people, like, yeah, it's like easier than staking actually.
Yeah, well, I want two things. Like, first, I want a cat, like Dip Catcher has. No, but like earlier, you know how I was asking about all like the one-sided staking? I think maybe it was yesterday, but I was commenting in the Telegram, and I'm not sure if you guys read it or whatever, but I was I got like super wrecked in liquidity pools.
Yeah,
like on Harvest, and oh god, somewhere else, like in 2020. So I'm just like totally over the farming thing. And so the only reason I was really bringing that up was just because, like, it'd be cool to like stack those DeFi Legos on top of each other.
Totally.
So I was thinking, okay, I got a bunch of I got maybe a 10% of my bag I want to swap to PHEX, right? Then mint that inside Maximus Cash. And then maybe do something more with the Maximus Cash, or the MAXI. But like we just talked about before I hopped on stream, it's like just holding it in my wallet is cool too. It's not like you know.
Yeah, because you're earning that, like what I consider the risk-free yield, like that max length stick yield.
Yeah.
That's, you know, so you're already doing that. Like it already in on itself is like a market
and not to
leading
mention I'm
yield
right,
token.
right, and not to mention we're getting hedron on top of it.
Yeah.
So it's like rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
What coins were you yield farming?
Oh
way back
God,
when?
man. I got wrecked in so much stuff, man. I'm like embarrassed. I don't want to say right away. I want to pretend like I did good. No, but
dude, we all get
let's
wrecked at
see.
some time, man.
Oh, dude, yeah. Well, it was kind of like you know, ETH this, ETH that, but one super total degen project that I went a little hard into. And here's I'll even add that, who was that guy who Richard Hart busted his balls when he got super wrecked, the guy in Hong Kong, the Asian dude? I thought it was cool at first, but he started calling Hex a scam.
Eric Wall, is that him? That you're talking about?
No. Anyway,
Yeah.
the dude recommended it, and you know, I followed it. The God, I forget what it was, but yeah. So I followed the myth cache thing, and then I jumped in the liquidity pool for that. I did you know that one called APY.
You jumped in the exit liquidity pool.
Yeah, no, I was the exit.
Yeah. So you made some guy who was on his third yield farming scheme. You were his exit liquidity pool.
Yeah.
Dang, man.
And this was 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, remember the stuff would be like, it was literally 120,000% APY.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I'm gonna be rich. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Those
yeah.
crazy APYs are, I mean, I've been there too, man. I pulled Brian into one time. I won't drop a name, but like they were doing this crazy, like API was crazy. They were doing like an 8-day stake or like a mint phase thing. And then they were going to like do a buyback or like a liquidity game where they set up the liquidity pool.
Shit dog.
Yeah. It was on Avalanche. It was called Snow Dog. And it was, I mean, honestly, like if it would have worked out, it would have been amazing. But like someone front run the buyback and everyone just got wrecked. It wasn't good, you know, but it's like, I don't know. There's some people that like, it's just like, I don't consider like losing money getting wrecked. I mean, I consider losing too much money getting wrecked, but like it's the wild, wild west right now. And I feel like, you know, throwing funds that you're willing to lose, it's, you know, it's a gamble. But as long as you're not losing, like you're not aping too hard into it, I think it's worth like some exposure to some crazy opportunity and like trying to time your exit before everyone else.
And also just that the benefit you get from having lived through that experience firsthand, it like, you know, gets you ready to assess a situation like that in the future, you know? So now, you know, what types of launch strategies don't work, and you know what to look for.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you guys, like this was August, September. What comes before November? Like October, right? Yeah. October 2020. Yeah. But so this is like right around the time I did like one or two of my first stakes, you know, before a big payday. And so it was a kind of like the evolution of all those crazy degen plays were getting, you know, just like you said, Dipcatcher, it was like learning those just massive, crazy learning experiences. But then also like that's when I started really going hard into Hex, you know, and then big payday and everything. So
yeah, and that really shows you the opportunity cost of like, you know, I've whenever I look back at like old stuff, I was like, oh wow, like had that money just like simply sat in Hex.
Yeah.
You know, like that. It's like, you know, there's you never know, and it's always funny to look back at the old charts.
Yeah. It looks like someone came into to the room. Goki.
Yeah, my girlfriend just ate it on the stairs.
Oh.
You okay?
Why is she eating on the stairs?
She got rug pulled.
Your cat
No, I
pulled the rug
agree.
out.
Like I don't. I mean, honestly, I've really learned my lesson. I'm just like terrible at calling like these like crazy altcoins. I've learned my lesson every time I try to do it or like try to pick an NFT project that I think it just doesn't work out. So like I always come back to Hex and yeah, man. I mean, like when you're looking at Maxi, it's like, I mean, if you really believe in Hex, and starting to believe in Hedron, like it could be. To me, it kind of is like dump proof. To be honest, like I think Brian said it yesterday, but like they would, if a whale decides to like dump the price, like they're hurting themselves more than anyone else, and really opens the door. I mean, unless you're like trying to sell your Maxi, maybe you're mad about that, but like opens the door for people to like buy into a maximum yield stake cheap, right? So we welcome the dumps for.
Well, you know what I like too about yeah, you know what I like about it too is it's like much like Hedron incentivizes for 15-year stakes because you're going to get more mintable Hedron.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could say that. There's other ways of saying it. If you want to do HSIs, you could tokenize. But much like that, Maxi incentivizes well, just holding the token
Mm-hmm.
is like
Yeah.
you're kind of you're part of like a 15-year bag, or you're part of a 15-year pool almost,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
man.
kind of cool.
Yeah, I think like one thing that definitely comes up is this concept of like people saving them from themselves with like native hex stakes, which I fully believe. Like I think I think that native stakes will and always be a great tool for that. But I also don't think that like that should like holding that belief should hold people back from enjoying the benefit of a liquid token and
Yeah,
earning
yeah.
yield on top of that,
Well, I
right?
feel
Like,
you.
yeah.
No, I didn't mean to cut you
Oh, you're
off,
good.
but I feel you because I feel like too, like we were just talking about with all the degen stuff I was doing in 2020. By December,
Mhm.
December, January, like, dude, I was already like a hexagon, and this is like month 2, right? And
Yeah.
after pay BPD, but I already had my ladder built out, and
Mm.
so now it's like even at like where are we at, like 15 cents, who cares, right?
Yeah.
But oh yeah, like the Alex Svetsky guy who just
Mhm.
talked to Richard Hart, right? Who cares about
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah.
No, I'm
Who cares
kidding.
about price? Yeah.
Yeah, who cares? No, I do care, but
Yeah.
what was yeah, so I feel like I already got my original ladder
Mhm.
built, right?
Yeah.
So now I'll like maybe on another wallet hold Maxi
Yeah.
and like some other stuff, like I don't
Mhm.
really feel like I need to continue to build on the same wallet or
Yeah.
on the same, yeah, I think you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, totally. You're like diversifying your strategy in a lot of ways. Like
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Like I've got max link stakes, and that's like my in retirement that I will not touch. Right. Like a lot of people when they think about like their retirement fund, it's like money they don't even think about. That's what I think about with those stakes. And I encourage people to like build out that strategy and utilize that kind of lockup mentality to save yourself from yourself. I don't know. Yeah. Like, but this really, again, like diversifies your strategy into, gaining exposure to a coin that actually, it wraps not only the price appreciation of Hex and the max length yield from Hex, also the max length yield from Hedron and that price appreciation, which, we were talking about that calculator earlier, and it's just like crazy to see how that just kind of creates an exponential backing price for a Maxi token. And that might be, who's to say what's going to happen on the market, but that might be realized on the market at current, present value, which is huge. Yeah, I think it's really exciting. Oh, I think we lost Aaron. I'll add him back in.
Sorry, man. I was trying to get that cam to work again, but I
Oh,
heard
you're
everything
good.
you said. Yeah.
Yeah. No
man.
worries. How'd
Yeah,
you hear about Maxi?
Oh, geez, what was it? Somewhere in Telegram,
Yeah.
and then I just went right ahead. I think the PRC altcoin Telegram.
Oh,
Yeah. Right.
man, I need to check that out. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. A lot of people are learning about it, and it's awesome to see. Like, there's definitely some questions when you're like trying to figure it out, and then it kind of just clicks. You're like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. So
Yeah,
it's
much
really,
like Hedron, right?
Yeah.
Remember, like
Mhm.
I mean, it took me a little bit to figure Hedron out, like
Yeah.
like a day or two, and then
Mhm.
I'm like, oh my god, can't wait for this thing.
Yeah.
Like I had a whole strategy. Well, of course, my strategy was just to claim all my ladder, right?
Mhm.
But that's a strategy because you got to get
Yeah.
your gas ready. Because I mean, it was like a couple $100 to
Mhm.
claim the whole ladder, and kind of like what you're just saying. It's like you got to have like I have a huge strategy. I have a bunch of
Mhm.
different strategies for Pulse,
Yeah.
Pulse X, liquid loans. So it's
Yeah.
exciting stuff. But
Very
like you
exciting.
said, like you were just saying, once you read through Hedron, you get it. And
Mhm.
like today or tonight, really, it's like 4 a.m. here. But yeah, once I got it, I was like, oh, it's super easy.
Yeah.
This isn't complicated.
Mhm.
And this is actually very, very simple.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we need to like. I don't know. So like when we first like launched the idea out into the world, I was actually like kind of concerned that it was almost too simple. Because I do think that with these more complicated projects, like Hedron, where it has a lot of like moving parts and there's like more complexity to it, it does kind of create more to talk about in a lot of ways. Like, and people like to kind of come to an understanding and kind of know things that other people don't, or like debate things. And like Hedron and Liquid Loans are both projects that have that. But luckily, I as our idea has developed, like there is a level of like opportunity and not I don't want to say complexity, but just like
I actually know what you're talking about.
yeah.
It's like because oh man, like okay, perfect example. I got my brother into like Hex Pulse. Um, I got him into liquid loans. I got him into a couple of the SAC stuff, and we do. We got some other ETH stuff that not worth mentioning.
Mhm.
But man, I tried explaining Hedron,
Yeah.
and then I got about 5 minutes in, and I'm like, you know what, dude, just I'm like, just give me the money,
Yeah.
and I'll go take care of it. And I
Yeah.
built him out like a separate ladder, in a different account in one of my wallets. So I'm like, dude, just send me like, just Venmo me like $100 so I can
Yeah.
claim your ladder I built for you. He's all, well, are you gonna borrow against the hex stakes? Like, won't that ruin the hex? I'm like, just send me over like
Yeah.
$100, dude.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. And it's the same. It's the same with like liquid loans. I tried explaining liquid loans to my brother who's not into crypto or any of that, and it's just too abstract. It's like explaining stuff that's just it's just too complex for that,
Yeah. Mhm.
And believe me, I'm not like computer guy, IT guy,
Yeah.
or anything. You know what I mean? But it was like explaining Hedron. I could just see his his eyes going cross-eyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's especially like, so I feel like every project over time, it's kind of figuring out like the base level, like one sentence explanation, and that's not always like clear at first, like what that should be, and like what problem it really solves that will like click in people's heads. And even with Hex, I feel like Hex and Bitcoin, like every, like people want to say every benefit that it does and how it changed the world and solves things, and it's like Hex over time like has been really simplified so that you can like explain it to anybody.
Well, I think people need to
yeah.
remember to call Hex a savings account.
Yeah.
You know, remember, use that CD analogy, you
Mhm.
know, from the legacy system, like
Yeah.
certificate of deposit. And that's a good, but it's, you know, 40%. It's not
Mhm.
1% or whatever it is at your
Yeah.
bank.
Yeah.
And I mean, but dude, I mean, I think Hex is pretty complex explaining that. Like,
Definitely.
I got my mom, dad, uncle, all them. I got them little stakes, you know, in
Mhm.
my wallets, of course.
Yep.
And I mean, they're like, okay, so where does the hex come from?
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
like, okay, sit, have a seat. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I
And then you
didn't.
got to explain
Yeah.
T-shares, you know. But
Yeah.
and then even then, you can see their eyes going cross-eyed, and it's still just like, it's just like, Dad, just Venmo me some dough if you want to do
Yeah.
it, and I'll do it for you. You know?
Totally. And I
Yeah.
think, the one thing that like Hedron and Maximus opens up is like for Hedron, being able to just like send someone a stake is huge in my opinion. It like, gifting that rather than like having to do it for someone else and like transfer a wallet type of thing, kind of it makes that a lot easier. And then with Maximus, it's like if you want to give somebody a stake, essentially you could just send a maxi, right? And so it really like lowers the barrier to entry there. Um,
Well, you can also send the maxi tokens around, right?
mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, let's say I just wanted to have another wallet somewhere. You know,
Mm-hmm.
another. I just want to open another, or send it to like another Trezor or Ledger or whatever.
Yeah, and the good thing
Right?
about like, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
good thing, the good thing we're with Maximus and just like market timing too is like Hex has had 2 years to like really build an awesome community and now people get it. And so it's kind of done like the heavy lifting. If you understand Hex, like and you understand staking, like Maximus is very easy to understand because it's essentially the same thing, just like with benefits essentially. And CD76 said the simplicity is its strength. After the advent of fiat on ramps for Hex, this is an easy to understand mechanism for long-term success through liquidity. Totally agree. Hex Hart said, I just joined, just want to know if this a one-time stake or will there eventually be another maximum stake coming for Maximus? So I touched on that a little bit earlier. Really focused on this one. No set plans yet for a future contract, but there might be future contracts that we launch under a different ticker. It wouldn't be the Maxi token. Yeah.
And there's always an advantage. It's the first one will always be the best one to join on a per hex basis because you're getting a share of a larger than normal inflation rate paid out through the stake. Because from day 350 until day 350 plus 5555, the actual effective inflation rate of Hex is slightly higher than that 3.69% target. And so the earlier that you are in one of these large stakes, just like the more days you get to spend under that increased payout life cycle. So on a per hex basis, the earlier you start, also with how the share rate ratchets up, the share rate for that any future stake is not going to be what it is now. There will always be an advantage to holding the earliest one possible. So even if there are ones in the future, you'll always be better off getting in earlier than you would have otherwise.
Yeah, great points. Aaron, did you have any questions about Maximus or thoughts or mainly questions?
No, man. I actually just wanted to. You did a great job explaining everything, and I kind of just wanted to hop on. It sucks my camera doesn't work. So I got a nice, I'm in a nice, well lit room and everything. I just can't get it to. Maybe next time it'll be the
Yeah,
next
for sure,
task.
man. You're the
But
first
yeah.
you're the first guest on stream, so that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, it's
well,
really lame. You can't see me, man.
I know,
I'm a
man.
good
It sounds like
looking
you got
dude.
a
I'm a good looking
studio.
dude. I swear.
That's awesome. Where
Aaron,
in the
what
world
are you on Twitter?
Oh, I don't actually do social media. It's kind of a
Smart.
yeah, but I could maybe build one, if I could do it, I guess. I just don't have a Twitter. I don't have a Facebook or Instagram. I don't do TikTok. I do like WhatsApp, like just
Yeah.
meeting friends around the world and stuff, But
Awesome, man.
but I'm in your Telegram group, and I got, you
Sweet.
can see my face in there, and yeah, man.
Thanks for joining us, and thanks for being a part of it. It's
Man,
pretty
it's
cool that we just only like 513 people are like roughly plugged in, and
yeah.
it's
But and then last thing, dude, I think it is really cool that there's simplicity to the project.
Yeah.
That's a really cool thing. And I know, I think it would be cool if there was like a way to like just do that whole DeFi Lego element and stake the Maxi token, but
Yeah.
let's not get too greedy either.
Yeah.
Like I think holding it, like we talked about, is a play. Like that's a play.
Yeah.
And it's cool, man. It's really
Awesome,
cool,
man. Yeah,
Cool.
man. Well, glad to have you part of the community, and yeah, we'll keep up the discussions in Telegram for sure.
Yeah, well, I'll be in there, so
Sweet.
I'll come talk to you guys, on the regular. It'd be cool.
Awesome, man.
awesome. Thank you.
Okay, guys, it's late here. I'm gonna check out.
All right, man. We'll talk soon.
All right. Have
All
fun.
right, later.
Later.
That was cool. He hopped on.
Yeah, man. Anyone else, like if you guys ever want to hop on, we're an open community, so feel free to just let us know, and we'll add you to the show. Hexheart said, how long do you participate it being before any ticker coming?
Do they mean like a new ticker? Oh, before another ticker?
Oh, before another ticker coming. We don't know yet. Again, like we don't have a set plan for the next contract, and there will be some like our next contract, like I mentioned before, would probably be the same contract, just focused on that like backward integration piece, and maybe some external piece of incentive for liquidity providing. Those are the things we probably focus on, but yeah, we don't really have a date on that. Again, just really focused on this one. And yeah, making sure it pops off.
Yeah, there's really no to-do list. It's more of a lifestyle, and that's
Maximus
kinda
lifestyle.
what we're just gonna keep rolling with.
I do like what Aaron was talking about though, and I brought that up before with maybe creating some type of DAO that holds like MAXI and like tokens, like same contract tokens, and building some type of game theory around incentivizing staking your tokens in it. Yeah, it's kind of like a master treasury. I think that would be really, really cool.
Do you know, it's another idea I had today, was if we had some type of, in the future, had some type of sacrifice, where what the sacrifice was you had to buy MAXI and then burn it before the redemption window. So people in order to gain an allocation of whatever coin, whatever DAO, you have to buy the MAXI, and then those coins get burnt. And so it's like a true sacrifice.
How would that work?
So imagine, there's 100 million MAXI minted.
Yeah.
And so that would mean, and then over that period of time, say it's worth 500 million hex at the end. And so that would be, 5 hex per MAXI.
What would the benefit of burning it though be?
What if there was some, fundraising event where MAXI holders wanted to, do something to, just work on something. They have people who want to participate and get that token, buy up the MAXI, and then burn those coins. So then when the redemption happens at the end, it's not like 5-1. Now it's like 8-1, because a large portion of that MAXI has been burnt. And the way that it calculates the end redemption rate is on what the current supply is. And when you burn coins, the supply reduces. And so,
but what would they get in return for burning?
Some new token.
Hmm.
Whatever token the MAXI community decides to build, we can make it so that the sacrifice,
you would have to make that token more valuable than the hex that you're losing out on by burning.
Yeah.
So how would you assert that value?
I mean, in the same way that people, when you're sacrificing something for the other, it's like you don't get those coins anymore. Usually it's the team that gets the coin, but in this case, it's like everybody who holds MAXI gets some of that sacrifice. So it's almost like a sacrifice that just pumps everyone's bags in Maximus, not just like necessarily the founder and the creator. And I think that's actually a pretty powerful force of like why Richard has so many people like up to bat for him, is because a lot of people had experienced financial upside. And so issuing future tokens by requiring a buy and burn of a token that we like and we want to hold, then that in effect increases our size of the redemption pot. That could be a really effective way, to do fundraising, because, one, it's like they have to buy those coins from somewhere.
Yeah.
So, they're putting that upwards pressure on it. And then two, it's like they're baking in a permanent premium because they bought the coins and now they're burnt. And so not only are those coins not for sale, but they also are not competing in the redemption pool. Like the opposite of that. Like they're like they gave you their portion up to the people that didn't burn. And so then it's not like funds changed hand. They didn't give you money. They just like baked in a premium on like a forever on an asset that you own, which maybe that's a fair way. And then it's up to you to, take the risk of selling, and then maybe that premium gets kind of shrunk as like, the people that, experience that upside, who now they, maybe you break off a portion of your MAXI, which is kind of like you're burning it to benefit yourself anyways. You get that other high risk earlier stage thing that maybe has, 100x in 2 months type potential because of like that risk premium of the very early stage brand new coin, and then maybe like the amplification effect of the people with MAXI, maybe they like lock in some of those gains by then further buying back that new coin that was issued at like a higher price and driving that value up. And so, so as a way where like everyone who holds MAXI is just part of the Maximus DAO, and everyone there gets like their own pro rata share of the premium boost that a buy and burn type of buy and burn sacrifice would have.
Honestly, Mr. E and Naeem like it, so might have to think on that. Yeah. What up, Chase? How's it going, man? Welcome. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to. I don't know. I always like the one thing about crypto is like MAXI is one of the first tokens that just like makes sense why it has value, but there's just so many tokens that like just don't make any sense why they are what they are.
Well, it's because there's endless demand for high risk speculation. Like everyone on earth wants to click the buy button and then not have to work, and so that's like a base layer of just demand for anything. And then there's also, people actively looking for like the early stage thing that can be successful. And, so there's that type of demand. And then also, the like if that token also had good pumpamentals, where, good, incentive structure that like incentivizes buying and hoarding, or some incentive structure that like drives burning, like those types of things have reasons why you would want to hold it. And so kind of just all those things together are, and then everyone who has other forms of money or other assets, like they have to, decide like what percent am I willing to risk on this based on like, you could reasonably expect to return. And so,
Yeah.
you know, there's actually a very low bar. And I think with like the NFT stuff, it only goes lower. Like, remember in 2017, ICO Mania, there had to be like crazy business activity. Like, oh, we're going to build this blockchain for dentists. And then all this wacky shit. And then that was like the things that were able to raise a lot of, you know, just get a lot of money in. And then like the DeFi stuff, I thought it was getting more sophisticated, because like the kind of the expectation in DeFi summer 2020, like people were really looking for complete projects, like honestly, because Hex kind of kicked that off. And then like a lot of like the like DeFi stuff, it's like the token had to be live. Like that was like bar none. Like 2017, you know, remember how long there was in the time between when OST like had their ICO and when the token launched? They're like, that shrunk. So I thought at that time, I was like, oh, okay, the market's getting more sophisticated. It's having higher standards for what is acceptable. But then like the NFT thing, like drastically lowered that bar, where it is now like, you know, funny monkey. And so like the bar is actually very low for something to command demand, you know, just like command a premium. And so, you know, that is like actually a really strong like baseline force. And then the more you can build upon that and then do marketing and, you know, grow community, you know, show success in the past. So, you know, all those things factor into what, you know, what people are willing to pay and how long they're willing to hoard.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I'm let me see. I'm sorry. I'm reading something. Yeah. I mean, the opportunity is really endless with that. The buy and burn. Yeah. This concept of buy and burn is like crazy concept.
See, the buy and burn with that shit dog thing, it didn't work because you had to rely on the team to do it. But like in this mechanism I'm describing, there would be a contract that you as the user interact with. And so like to mint your token B, you have to burn MAXI. So either you already have it or you have to buy it and then burn it. So it kind of puts that buy and burn in the user's hand. And then, you know, that, and then you know, that value, it's like no money changed hands. Like they didn't pay us. So it's not like we pooled funds to, you know, to perform executive work. You know, it wasn't like, you know, we got a bunch of, you know, bunch of money. It's, you know, we still had what we have, just the supply dynamic of the coin we have changed. And then it's, you know, imagine how thrilled everyone would be. Like they'd be chanting Maximus, Maximus, like in that scene in the movie, people would be chanting Maximus. Dude, leading up to it, people would be like, oh my gosh, like buy and burn. I need to like, and then bake in a premium. And then, you know, so that this whole concept of a community holding this shared asset, and then, you know, people could organize that completely on their own. Like it wouldn't even be it wouldn't even have to be like, you know, because we have no special privilege in this. Maybe we have some, you know, influence on like the people that are kind of involved in this, but you know, other people could come in and gain more influence than us and be issuing stuff too. And, you know, so like, you know, that's why I kind of want to plant this concept, because even if we don't do it and someone does, then that, you know, that still is beneficial for everybody. And I the more and more I really see the value in like when I see like why Hex has formed such a strong community, it's because the majority of people have had awesome financial performance because of it. Like, and you know, it's and I think that if the more people that we can deliver that result for, then just, you know, the more powerful the ideas and like the thing, you know, like we'll have, you know, be able to help more people, you know, make the change that they want to see in the world. And we'll be able to, you know, help more and more people and, you know, kind of just set that culture of like really kind of like lifting everyone up. You know, it's like we're already doing it with like the stake pooling, you know, like we're lifting up those small stakers who couldn't afford to stake on their own. and we're providing this whole new like financial utility that you know. So it's like there's kind of something that benefits everyone. It's like the small people benefit from the gas savings, the big people benefit from the financial utility, and so like there's something for everyone that we can all lift up together. And then it, you know, if like things that we continue to build, you know, we're driven by these, you know, it's like a true sacrifice. Like you're actually casting your coins away forever. Like, and they're not going to anyone. Like it's like a deep, like a real sacrifice. And,
but if in a way, isn't that like just minting though? Oh, it's burning. Yeah.
It's redeeming, but you're redeeming nothing. And you're not diluting what everyone else is redeeming.
That's a yeah.
You
I
know,
mean,
it's like there's suddenly less.
We'll see how my 15-year stakes do that are ending before Maximus, and then I might participate in that as like a.
Oh, what if this was in like 6 months?
Oh,
you know,
I don't know.
Like really, you know, if you think that the thing that you're going to hold is going to outperform, which it could, if like an early high risk thing, you know, like especially if it's like a pulse chain related thing, because like there's just so many people coming into pulse chain, and there may be limited like things, and so
Spell said, I think it would have to be that Maximus DAO platform you talked about that generated fees that then bought Maxi and burned.
That's a good idea.
That's a really good idea. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Naeem said, you guys are saving me a fortune in gas fees on both ETH and Pulse chains. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. I mean, like if everyone, let's see. So we've got 513 members in Maximus. Like what would be, let's see. So let's say ETH was at current price. One ETH is equal to that times 531 million at current ETH price. If ETH was $1, I mean, if gas was $1 to end a max link stake, if gas was 1 ETH, what am I saying, man? I've been on stream too long.
Are you
a million point eight in gas fee savings from everyone?
On my copy of that thing, while we were talking to Aaron, I was also I added a gas cost estimator.
Is it just gas cost and people and participants?
No, well, it's like a day is times the equation per day. Of
you
gas.
really calculated it.
Yeah, times the gas unit. You know, so like you estimate the gas unit price, and then you estimate the hex price in Ethereum. So this will give you like so between those two values, you're getting like the how much hex that gas is costing you at that time. And so
Spell said, or just make the fee for making your DAO the Maxi token and burn a portion of that. You guys need to get some value out of the project. Yeah, at some point, like we'd love. I mean, if we built that platform, we would probably build in some type of fee structure just so, like, I mean, especially with operating costs like ongoing, and depending on how big that would get. But it'd be cool, man. Juicebox DAO really inspired me. I launched a DAO on there and it was so easy to set up. And it created like this, I mean, with that, it really creates like a marketplace for, if we built it for Maximus, like for pools, and if they were fully integrated, and just gave the power to the people to like raise their own pools, and set their own parameters, I think it would be so cool. Like that's definitely something I really want to build. But yeah, you know, first things first, proving this out. And guys, shout out Brian, man. You guys, like, Brian has taught himself to code over the past, like, when did you start coding?
Like 2015.
2015. And you know, learned Solidity on his own to build this contract, and it works. And his skills from being able to build with Python enabled us to build the front end. So shout out to Brian, man. He's fronted the fee for the audit. He's just crushing it. So
thank you.
Yeah, of course, man. So
yeah, thanks for all you've contributed to around like the branding and putting things in explainable words and making those diagrams. Like those have been viewed by tens of thousands of people, and that's massive. Like that's the really, really critical work.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, the way we've approached this, like, for those of you that don't know, we've worked on startups together in the past. Our first approach, we probably launched the most like complicated type of startup, trying to solve the biggest problem ever. And so this approach was taken from really the school of hard knocks in our first approach to building things.
We're going for the hardest thing possible at a time where our skill set was at a minimum all time. Whereas now I feel like we've improved our skill set and are attempting like just way easier things.
Yeah. Well said. You could be the Pulse Chain DAO platform. Absolutely, man. Like, I mean, to be honest, like, yeah, like we started DAO in the name, but like our plans in the future will definitely be more. Well, okay. So the reason we actually had DAO in the name first is that, how Brian wanted to do it. Well, the initial vision that Brian had was to have this DAO that would essentially, the DAO would manage the minting, and like you would have to vote on approving. It was a lot more complicated. And luckily we've been able to do it with smart contracts now, or a smart contract, really simplified it. But yeah, in the future, like we definitely want to bring more of a DAO feel into it. The future there is really endless too. But being a DAO, like this MAXI token, I'm confident will be the best performing DAO token that's ever been created. Like more than OHM, more than any other DAO. Like it's gonna really change the game. I'm pretty confident in that, because it was built to be profitable. It wasn't built to like, I don't know.
And it doesn't rely on new buyers coming in. Like a lot of these own thing, like the whole premise of their minting and like APY model is it's like 3-3 thing. It's like you have to assume that like all players with 3 options are going to choose option 3, and if they all choose that, but as soon as like people start choosing 1-3, there's like a matrix of different combinations. Like that's when it all starts going to shit. And so like there's no like critical failure path that like users can take that would like stop Max. So it's a bet that the underlying asset of Hex is still going to be in demand. But there's no other mechanic that like causes like one class of user to get wrecked over the other. It's like everyone is fully experiencing the same thing. Like there's no advantage that like one class of users has over another.
And we're entering into, I mean, the demand for Hex, like the very, very exciting thing with kind of the 3 major like L2 products, us, Hedron, and the Hex Trust, is like, being dependent on Hex demand. And then there's products like this first wave of the life cycle of Hex in the first 2 years has only been individuals buying, right? Like maybe some high net worth individuals. The Hex Trust opens the door to financial markets, and that's big money. Like if they pull it off and they execute, and I mean, talk about a black hole for Hex supply, price is going to skyrocket. Like it's going to be crazy. And, by us staking, like we're going to reap that benefit like crazy. So, and Hedron's just getting started, and it's been performing, pretty well. I think it's, personally, I think Hedron's going to be an uphill battle for like maybe 2 years. We'll see. Like, I just think that there's a lot of holders like just waiting for their price that they would want to like close out on. I don't know. Yeah, we've only seen like 2 or 3 big whale dumps. And so, but I mean, honestly, like if Hedron makes to $1 in 15 years or even a cent, like mad gains, insane gains. Hex to $1, crazy gains. Yeah,
I'll check out my shirt.
Let's see it. Ooh, internet, dude. That's awesome. International Staker Club. Yeah, that's my my t-shirt brand that I launched a little while back. It's actually still live. I just don't promote it anymore. There's still people dropping through, but honestly, I think the most unique Hex apparel out there is pretty awesome.
I have this in my Pulse Chain shirt.
Yeah, that's sick. I need to, honestly, I'll drop some Maximus merch in there. Dude, I'm so jealous of your office, man. I'm literally in my dining room.
I'm in a castle. You're in a Toyota. Remember that?
Dude, yeah.
Dude, that makes me feel bad because I love Toyota.
Mr. E said MAXI price will melt faces off. We'll see, man. I agree. I believe in it. Spell said, good job to you guys. Excited to see how this plays out. It will be exciting, man. I mean, I think Richard Hart had the right mentality. Like, well, I don't know. Like when he talks about encapsulated stakes, he's always kind of described it. He's described it in a few different ways. I think his thinking on it was initially like a whale would make a huge stake and then sell shares in that. I think our approach is an improvement upon that. I just think that having a mint phase and then the pool is created in kind of a more trustless ways, a lot better.
So some I thought of that I think is an added benefit of the way that we do one maxi per hex, as opposed to doing maxis based on like the shares that your hex contributed to. It actually like makes it so that the larger you are, it's like as if you're sharing your shares with other people. And so there may be some threshold of like a large enough user where they could, just not like where it doesn't make as much sense to stake or to mint maxi, because it's like you're just like giving up your bigger pays better bonus. And the benefit of that is that
you're still benefiting from. Well, I mean, if you're staking 150 million hex, yeah, that makes sense. Like,
if you're already in those like massive numbers,
but you're benefiting from having a liquid token. That liquidity bonus is a big deal.
Yeah. But what that does, it makes the maxi a little bit more scarce, and then that's like beneficial, because then that person could potentially just like be buying discounts on maxi with their hex, and like that's a strong price floor of people that like would have been able to get maxi, but maybe they thought they were going to be sacrificing too much, and so they calculate what percent they would have been sacrificing in their shares per hex, and then that's where they place their bids of like, how what price on the maxi hex chart are you getting more shares than you would have, because you would have like given up shares because of like you're the one getting that bigger pays better bonus for everybody. It's like they benefit slightly from everyone else being in there too, but like they're the main driver of it. And so those large ones, they may get more share day exposure by buying in a discount as opposed to minting.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And so like, because if you're it's kind of like, what is it? Like, you don't want the most expensive house in the neighborhood. It's like kind of like that.
I've never heard that saying. Why wouldn't you want the most expensive?
Because everyone else just brings your value down.
That makes sense.
You're bringing everyone else's value up. So that's similar phenomena, but I don't know how big of an impact that'll be, because of how that bigger pays better is kind of it. It's there, but it's not like it's not that big compared to longer pays better.
So I'm curious. I've always been curious, like with Hex, like, and you have an active stake, like where does that live? Like while your stake is live, like, because you're not receiving a token, like how is that represented, or how does how do you know that you have stakes? You have to go through okay, so like when you connect your MetaMask to the Hex site, like it shows your stakes. Is that the Hex contract associating your address with active stakes on their contract? Okay.
Yeah.
I've always done that.
Yeah. Like you could pull up Etherscan and go to the Hex thing and then just like connect your wallet and see that information there too. They may supplement it with data that they read off chain. But yeah, it's like every stake has a stake ID and
is associated with your address.
Well, it's like the stake ID is associated with your stake, which is also associated with your address. Yeah. And so your stake ID, like the system stores like, that stake information based on the stake ID.
Yeah. What about, okay, when Richard Hart says Hex has 100% uptime, does that just mean, what does that mean?
It means that the contract has never failed.
Yeah.
And even the Hex site has never been down. And also like because there's so many other ways you can interact with Hex, like all the other front ends, like there's never been a time where you couldn't ever use Hex. And, like the Ethereum has never been down. If Hex was built on Solana, there could be times where Hex was down because Solana, there's not the same fee market structure as there is on Ethereum. Their solution to that is literally sometimes just shutting the chain off.
But wouldn't you have to have, I mean, it would be a big issue if you have immutable code with no admin keys and not 100% uptime, right? Like, are there projects that actually happens where they don't have 100% uptime and it's immutable?
I don't know of an example off the top of my head, but what that would look like is like, if it's immutable, it has to have 100% uptime.
That's what I'm saying. That's always been like a funny thing.
Failed contracts that there was no fixing it because it was immutable.
Because it's either with immutable, it's either 100% or not.
Or they're like on one of the big like early things is called the parity multi-sig, where the smart contract was written in a way that made it so that anybody, if they knew what like function to run and what to send it, could have just bricked the contract. So the funds weren't stolen, but the funds were just permanently bricked because the contract that ran that system, just someone made it so that it couldn't be called again.
Yeah.
So that's probably an example where, the contract is always working and it's always working as intended, but it enabled somebody to cause the contract to not be able to be run anymore. So
I was listening to Alex the other day, Alex from Hedron, and he actually like opened my mind about something that, like, I mean, when I don't know, he was saying that basically, like, especially with hexagons, like we think of immutable code and that like if some shit happened, like you wouldn't be able to change it. And there's actually like kind of proxies or ways to like build around it in a way or something. Like, is that true?
Well, yeah. So kind of how we interface with Hex, it's kind of like we're using Hex as a proxy. And so like, say there was something wrong with Hex, if you were to like use it in a certain way, we could write a contract that wraps Hex that only uses Hex in the way that like is known to work. And so, but usually in that setting, you can only make something more restrictive. Like you can't add features you can reduce features. And if the problem that arose could be solved by reducing features, then that could work. But that like where like it's just like optimized use of the contract as is, where you can't change the contract itself, but you can change other things. But also, I mean, most smart contracts, especially in like the DAO space, they actually, and that's like how it is with the Aragon thing, like and many other DAOs, is they have these like proxy contracts, which like you can swap in and out for each other. And so when you need something to be fixed, you just like, rather than writing all of your smart contract functionality in a contract file, you write it so that it can have these like other contracts plugged in as proxies, so that like that block of code can be run and then it can interact with like the next block, but you can like remove those blocks.
Got it.
And
okay, that makes sense.
then from there, it's like kind of based on whatever the governance model is for swapping in proxies for one another. That's kind of how that works.
All right, I'm pulling up the Twitter. I feel like this would be a good, like, people ask questions on Twitter, so maybe we can just kind of go through our replies and just like touch on those on stream. So yeah, MAXI is only launching on Pulse Chain, right? So our goal is to launch on Ethereum before the Pulse Chain fork, so everyone gets a copy. People have asked, okay, well, what if Pulse Chain launches tomorrow? If that is the case, we will launch on both chains separately. The good news about that is if you have your Hex in your wallet, it'll be copied over. So you can just, all you'd have to do is just mint with both. Another goal for not only to double our bags, obviously not as an important of a reason, but just like to have that parity of starting at the same place at launch is another reason why we're trying to do the copy. How close are we to the mint phase? 1 to 2 weeks. Good question. So we're waiting on our audit to get back to us. They said by 4/6, and then after we get that green light, we'll announce the launch date. Awesome work by Naeem. Keep it up, man. Those are really dope art pieces. How to get some MAXI. So a lot of people, I think this goes along with the question of like, are we live? No, we're not live. You can test it out with tests Hex and tests MAXI right now. So that's live. I think there's 5 or 4 days left in the mint phase if you want to play around. But the mint phase will happen at launch. So that'll be the start of the mint phase. We were talking about, initially we had like picked an arbitrary days of 30 days. I think we're going to cut that back to like 14 or 15 days because there's no real reason to have it go that long. And also something I thought about more is like if we do shorten that, kind of a higher likelihood of maybe locking in a Hedron bonus as well. This was a cool chart from Crypto Sloth. I was trying to wrap my head around it, but it's cool that he's thinking about how you could use Maximus for crowdfunding for philanthropic goals. So that's really cool. Would love to have Crypto Sloth on stream or on his stream sometime to hear him go through this, but really, really awesome. Shout out to Laszlo for tweeting about Maximus. Yep, reducing in-stake fees. You get a copy, and it'll reduce supply. Correct. Someone asked, how do you mint Hedron from a MAXI stake? So we've integrated with Hedron we built an integration with Hedron into our smart contract. So you'll be able to call the mint Hedron function through the Maximus contract. That Hedron will then go into the Maximus treasury, aka just the Maximus contract, and then you'll be able to redeem that along with your Hex principal plus interest when the stake ends. Really cool to see Whales Only and Tangent talking about Maximus yesterday. So I clipped that and posted it. So you guys want to watch that, go to our Twitter. But really awesome to hear Whales Only really liking Maximus. So that's really, really inspiring to hear. Also, I'm going to be streaming with Jim Rat as well next Tuesday in the morning, I think 9:30 a.m. So definitely check that out. So if I staked Hex a year ago, I can't mint Maxi. So you'll need liquid Hex to mint Maxi. Maximus doesn't, I think this question comes from people trying to like relate Hedron to Maximus. So Maximus does not affect your other stakes at all. Has no relationship. Just think of it as a new stake, as if you were staking Hex. It's more like that than Hedron. Let's see.
Check what I said in the private chat. Play that.
Okay. I gotta put this in here.
We should figure out how to make this like the intro. Maximus, 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 Maximus.
It's so sick, dude. Honestly, one of my favorite movies.
That's gonna be the people, literally all of it. Mr. E, Naeem, everyone. It's gonna be like Maximus, dude. Maximus.
Yeah, dude. We definitely need to have like we'll definitely be having a stream. Should we do it at the beginning of it, like at the start at launch, or should we do it at the end of mint, like at stake, like a stream party?
Probably in the hours leading up to the end of mint, up until when you can start the stake.
Okay, that'd be dope. I think this was good. I'm gonna keep going on questions.
See, what's crazy about that moment is that'll be the first time that price can deviate from the redemption rate without it being like instantly arbitraged by someone buying that discounted Maxi, redeeming it, and then reminting.
Yeah.
And so that's when like the price will really like the market may start really expressing what that value is. And like the people that miss the minting, maybe they have to like start buying.
Yeah.
And
well, I talked about this earlier. I really, really advise people against setting. I mean, like, it's going to be really interesting, but I would advise people not setting a dumb price for Maxi because you will get arbitraged. We were talking about this the other day. If you set the price of Maxi, if you set it too high, right, compared to Hex, like if you create a Hex Maxi pool, easy arbitrage opportunity for someone to just sell their Maxi, get your Hex, and remint. So don't do that. I think it's also interesting. I mean, if I would assume, 15 days, somebody's going to create a liquidity pool, and it would be really interesting to see like that price relationship between Hex and Maxi. I would assume it would be as close to 1-to-1, but who knows what'll happen. But yeah, I mean, once the stake starts, the price action really begins.
The percent that it'll oscillate is probably related to the like the gas fee impact. So the gas to swap and the gas to redeem on one end, and then on the other side, the gas to swap and then the gas to mint is probably like that buffer.
Yeah.
That it'll, because like the arbitrage only works if like including the gas to do that, you're in a favorable position.
Yeah. I wonder what I've never even thought about this, but like the E Maxi to P or actually, I was kind of thinking about this, but I didn't really think of it too deep. But like EMAXI to PMAXI pair could be created as well. That'll be interesting. Let's see. Let's keep going.
Yeah, that'll probably track the hex, the EHEX PX pair, but also like because ours has like that you're waiting in the future, it kind of bakes that in as well. Like it's like estimating like future gas prices too. So
this is the greatest Maximus meme that's been created to date. Showing Maximus as a Trojan horse for hex into CoinMarket and Coinbase. That would be, dude, if we got listed on Coinbase, that would be insane.
Dude, we can do it. It's actually easier than.
Why doesn't hex get listed?
Because it requires the people behind it to like disclose information and just do all kinds of bullshit. And I think also, I don't know, maybe people have tried to get Coinbase listing, but
yeah, for mainnet, would this 30-day thing happen more than once for more than one 555 stake, or just once? And if just once, why not do it like every 30 days for a new 555 stake? Yeah, we kind of talked on that. Again, with the rolling stakes, you're paying gas for every time you end stake and starting stake. And it really, Maximus, it is a liquidity solution, right? And in my mind, like the only reason you would want that rolling stake is that liquidity optionality with the stake ending and being able to like do with the hex what you want. So like Maximus as a liquid token already offers that without sacrificing more in gas and like locking a better teacher rate. So really, really cool, guys, to see people trying out Maximus and the dApp and minting. If you do, man, drop a pic on Twitter. We'll definitely retweet it. Really cool to see. We talked about the calculator. Dude, so what's so crazy? This wasn't even like an intentional thing. I mean, I really was just like trying to like follow people back. This tweet got so much like engagement. It was crazy. Oh, 5. Dang, one more 5. But yeah, I'm still catching up on trying to follow people.
Hey, so I'm gonna have to hop off here in just a minute.
Yeah, I'll probably hop off. Do you have any closing thoughts or things you wanted to talk about?
I mean, just thank you everyone who's participated in the testing. You've already helped us like identify ways that everything can improve. And it's helpful to just kind of get new perspectives and people starting from zero so we can make sure it's understandable. So again, thank you to everyone who's been doing that. Thank you to everyone who's participating in the chat. It's awesome to just see, full discussion and people who come in one day, they ask like the beginner questions. And then after a couple of days, they're answering questions. So that's always really, really positive to see. And yeah, so just, thank you all for what you do. This is really exciting. And we're excited to share this moment with you all.
Awesome, man. Well,
all right. We'll talk to you soon.
Keep building. Talk soon, man.
Thanks.
Later.
See you later.
Always awesome to have Dip Catcher on stream. This has been a really, really good stream, guys. Quite long. At some point, I need to it's just a lot to download an entire YouTube video and just a lot of memory. But I do want to at some point chop those up because there's just kind of good segments in there. Obviously, we talk about a lot of different things, but to not make someone sit through the whole stream, I'd love to make it easier to get to good information. But yeah, guys, like you said, really, really appreciate everyone. People are just stepping up as leaders in this community. Mystery, Naeem, really, really appreciate you guys and all you're doing in Telegram and answering questions and banning scammers. Been really helpful and allowing us to focus on continuing to build. Yeah, as far as updates go, I've mentioned that a few times now, but still waiting on the audit. Should get it by 4/6, and then we'll announce a launch date. On our end, we're definitely working to improve the website before launch. Mainly the dashboard is kind of the main focus, kind of the only thing remaining. But everything else is working really good. There was only one like small, well, it's just the wallet connection to Pulse Chain mainnet. Something about the naming convention when they switched over to V2B, it's kind of like messing with our DApp. That's an easy fix. We'll figure it out. So other than that, man, it's just working really smooth. Fun to play around with, and like on V2B, it's been really fun to have MAXI to play with liquidity pools. Want to make it clear, none of the numbers on there, you shouldn't be looking at those as like indicators of like what's going to happen. These are all free coins, so people are making crazy moves with them. Hexagon Tony said you need RH's timestamp guide. Dude, that would be awesome, man. That guy's a legend. Like, so good to just be able to like hop into a past stream and just hop to what you want to see. Yeah, man, that'd be really, really cool. I saw this tool actually that you like import your video and then you're able to like edit your video like a Word doc, which is really, really cool. Like you can just like cut out sentences and it'll like, it's like AI, it'll like cut it out really nicely. So yeah, definitely need to keep making videos. And we're just starting. I think a lot of the bigger influencers within our community definitely are looking towards that audit to be able to really talk about Maximus, which I totally get and I respect and actually like that they do that. I don't, it's a risk to talk about projects, regardless who you're telling people to invest or not, just to like talk about them is a big risk. But the code's out, so if you can read code, it's verifiable if you want. Very, very simple. And Brian's actually mentioned this. It would be probably a great contract to like actually try to understand Solidity because it's so simple. It's only like 180 lines of code, but you can kind of look at the different functions and how they work. But I'm excited for the audit. I think a lot of people have guards up until that comes in. And so I'm hoping that kind of alleviates some of that pressure. But the momentum's crazy, man. It's like light bulbs are going off for a lot of people, and seeing this as a great opportunity. Really exciting to see. And yeah, man, it's I'm honestly really, really proud of what we've done. Not only like what me and Brian are building, but just like proud of everyone for stepping up and being an awesome community. I think we're gonna have the best community on Pulse Chain. Aside from obviously the core community, we're the sub. We're not counterculture because we're a stem of the mainstream, but I'm excited, man. I just want to get to launch, and I want Pulse Chain to launch. It's going to be really, really exciting times, man. Like I 3 months from now, we'll definitely be fully launched for both of those. And I'm just excited to see what's going to happen on the market. Like who's yeah. But I truly do love, a lot of tokens with these airdrops and things. Like people don't really, I don't know, man. I hate being in a holder of like free airdrop coins because I just know people and they just don't value free things as much as things they bought. It's just something I've learned over and over. And so like, with airdrop coins, it's like it's just so common for dumps and because it's just not real money to people. But with Maxi, like, you know, you're it's fully backed, right? So you have to get Maxi, you have to, you know, pledge your hex, which is big. It's you know, yeah. But the upside could be really, really big. Let's see. Let me see if there's any other questions. Let me share my screen again. Yeah, so this has been good to kind of go through because it's where a lot of questions have been coming up. This is like the whole followed thing. Maybe not. Maybe we're out of questions. Yeah. All right, guys. I might be, wow, 2 hours and 40 minutes, man. If you guys would stick around this whole time, you guys are legends, man. Really appreciate it. This conversation has been awesome. Thank you guys for chatting it up. If you guys ever want to stream, like I said before, just shoot me a message on Telegram. Would love to have you up and just talk through any questions or ideas, thoughts. Love to do it. But it's been really fun, man. I want to keep streaming. Let's see, any announcements? So yeah, I think I mentioned it already, but let's see, Tuesday, 9:30 Pacific AM, and then that'd be like 11:30 Eastern time. I'm going to be streaming with Jim Rat Crypto. So that'll be really fun. Like his Crypto in the Morning show to talk about Maximus. I think the whole show is about Maximus. So definitely tune into that. I'll be sharing links to that when it goes up, but excited, man. We're just getting started. Launch is right around the corner. Keep buying Hex, stack it up, be ready to mint Maxi. And yeah, guys, onward. All right. I'll talk to you soon.